Hello, geometry students. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. Flipgrid question. Go answer it. It's good fun. YouTube lesson you have already found if you are here, and just like usual, please pause the video, try this problem in your notes, and then unpause it to do it with me. So our question is to solve the triangle and to round our decimal answers to the nearest tenth. That is important. Nearest tenth. Okay. Alright, so to solve this triangle, I do not have a right triangle. Definitely don't. So I can't use the Pythagorean theorem, and I can't use SOHCAHTOA. But I can use what we learned on Friday, which is the law of cosines, which tells me that, I don't know why we're, a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc times the cosine of a. Now let's make sure that all of our sides are labeled. The one opposite a is a, the one opposite b is b, and the one opposite c is c. Wonderful. Let me make that look more like a b. Perfect. And now let's just fill in the blanks. So we have 4 squared equals 6 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 6 times 5 times cosine of a. We don't know what a is. That is what we are trying to find. So we have 16 is equal 36 plus 25 minus, what, 12 times 60? Cosine. Okay, and then, let's see, we'll subtract this from both sides. 16, 36, and 25 is negative 45. Equals negative 60 cosine of a. Divide by. And we get 3/4 or 0.75 equal to cosine of a. And you remember how we get rid of this with good old cosine inverse. So cosine inverse of 0.75 is approximately 40.4. Fantastic. So we've found angle A. Now, I like to make life easier on myself. The law of cosines is, oh my goodness, you did our cosine inverse. That's still, my face is in the way. Cosine inverse of both sides to get us our 41.4 degrees. Now let's make life easier on ourselves instead of using the law of cosines again, because that is big and messy. Instead, let's use the law of sines because we can, because it's easier. So, we have a over sine a equals b over sine b equals c over sine c. Now, we can pick just one angle to find, and then we can use the triangle sum theorem. So, I'm gonna fill in the blanks here. 4 over sine of 41.4 degrees equals 6 over sine of b equals 5 over sine c. Now, let's just find b, then we'll worry about c later. So we have 6 times the sine 41.4 times the sine of b. If we divide by 4, we get 6 6/4 times sine of 41.4 equals sine of b. Y'all remember how we undo the sine of b? Take sine inverse. And that is, yuck. Find out sine inverse 6/41 divided by 4. That is 82.7 degrees. Approximately, of course, approximately is B. And now I could do butterflies over here again, but why would I do that when I can just do... Whoa, nope, not that one. 41.4 plus 82, 82.7. And then 180 minus that, 124.1 is equal to 55.9. So C must be approximately. There you go. So we kind of reviewed everything. We reviewed the law of cosines, we reviewed the law of sines, and we even saw our triangle sum theorem. Ta-da! All of its glory. Okay. Hopefully you got it too. There are many different ways to do this, so if you use the law of cosines 3 times, good for you, as long as they all still add up to approximately 180 degrees, because all of these are estimations, you'll be good there. Alright, moving on to our learning target and success criteria for today. Our learning target says, I remember every theorem from chapter 9. Every theorem. And our success criteria says, I can solve problems using all the concepts from chapter 9. All the concepts. Solve problems using all of the concepts. So, let's jump right into it, shall we? I hope you have figured out that this means that we are reviewing chapter 9. Goodness gracious. Zoomed in too much. So what did we do in chapter 9? Here is an overview of every single section of chapter 9 and what we did in it. So, before we left on this crazy break, that week before we left on the break, we did the Pythagorean theorem. We did special right triangles, and we did similar right triangles. And then, since our lovely break, we have done the tangent ratio, the sine and cosine ratios, we have solved right triangles, and we learned about the law of sines and the law of cosine. So all of this is up for grabs on a chapter 9 test. So I want to make sure that you have this so that you know what all you should remember from chapter 9. Next thing I'm going to show you is examples from each section, and I'm not going to go through these step by step because you can go back and watch the previous YouTube videos for that content, and in the notes you can see the examples right here. So I'm just going to show you that there are examples in the PowerPoint for today. 9.2 special right triangles. Now remember, this is just the 45, 45, 90, but remember that you also need to know about the 30, 60, 90. So don't just look at these examples and go, oh, okay, I know how to do the examples, I'm good. Because no, if you don't review how to do the 30, 60, 90, you are not going to be prepared for a test. 9.3, similar right triangles. 9.4, the tangent ratio. And remember here, they're just finding the tangent, they're not actually solving for a side length. Remember that we solved for side length using tangent as well, so remember this example is not everything that you need to know. Same with this one. They're just finding sine and cosine, they're not solving for a side with it, so this is not everything you need to know from 9.5. 9.6, solving right triangles. Remember, there are other cases of this as well. This is side, side, side. We have 2 of the sides. and we can find the rest. But remember, I can also start with an angle and a side and find the rest, so that's not everything you need to know from 9.6. And 9.7, the law of sines and the law of cosines. So in this example, they just use the law of sines, but you will want to know the law of cosines as well. Oh, ha 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 ha. There is an example of the law of cosine. Well, that's good. That's good. But about these examples, I said it before, and I'm going to say it again, these examples are not exhaustive, which means that those examples do not include everything you need to remember from every section. Please make sure you know how to do every problem on the practice test. These solutions will be posted as usual. So those examples do not include everything you need to know. What does include everything you need to know is this screen right here. This is exhaustive. Anything that could possibly be on your test is on this list. So this is everything that you need to know. Okay. Back down. Back down. Yes. Solutions are posted already. If you want to look at them, if you want to check your answers. If you come up with questions on any of the practice test, any of those examples up there, anything on that list, please tune into my live stream every day from 12 to 2 p.m. Every weekday, excuse me, not weekends, but every weekday from 12 to 2 p.m. It's a fun time. You should definitely check it out. Your practice test is this. It is also posted in the assignments folder. It is much easier to find, or it's much easier to read in the assignments folder. This is really small and kind of looks a little blurry, but if you go to the assignments folder, it is nice and big and easy to read. So please check that out there. And now, your launch for today comes from Jimmy Dean. I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. So if you don't know anything about sailing, and I am not an expert sailor, I have only done it like twice, and even then there was somebody else doing a majority of the work and I was helping. But the beautiful thing about sailing is that you, no matter what direction the wind is blowing in, you can use the wind to your advantage to sail in any direction that you want. So the way that you adjust your sails is what allows you to move in this direction, not just the direction that the wind is pushing you. And I hope you see the analogy to life here is that no matter what life throws your way, you are not stuck going in that direction. You can adjust your sails to go in whatever direction you want, no matter what life throws your way. So if life seems really awful, it doesn't mean that you have to keep going down this awful path. You can adjust your sails to use that awful thing for good. Yes, so that is the launch for today. Good luck with your practice test, and if you have questions on it, please tune into my live stream and ask. I am more than happy to help you. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye.